Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. Yo, as we all know, 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark was arrested and charged with murder in the senseless shooting of Takeoff, which took place on November 1st at 810 Billiards. Last week, Clark appeared in probable cause court, where he stood in front of the judge in his tight orange jumper. Houston police said that there were over 30 people around at the scene when the shooting took place, and not a one of those people stayed around to talk to the police or give them information that would help find the shooter. As a result of the non-cooperation, investigators had to comb through hours and hours of video evidence, and it turns out that fingerprints on a wine bottle led to the apprehension of DJ Pat, Takeoff's alleged murderer. Police also said that phone records and license plate information also helped to identify Patrick Xavier Clark as the suspected shooter. While in probable cause court, the judge also said the defendant was, quote, caught on video shooting in the direction of Takeoff with a gun in one hand and a wine bottle in the other. Videos also show the defendant leave the bottle at the scene. A video at a different location also shows him in close range, still in possession of the weapon, before reappearing in the original scene and then fleeing in a vehicle, end quote. Because Clark was found with an expedited passport, large amounts of money, and he had purchased tickets to Mexico, the judge agreed with prosecutors and deemed that Clark was a flight risk. As a result, she set his bond at $2 million. And Clark, who is currently being held in the Harris County Jail, appeared in court again on Monday. Clark's attorneys argued that the $2 million bond was excessive and it violated his constitutional rights. And they also said that the tickets to Mexico that Clark had were for a planned vacation that he eventually canceled. They also said that their client is innocent until proven guilty. Listen, when police first announced that they had made an arrest, and then they put this guy's name and picture up on the screen, I'm sitting there and I'm flabbergasted and I'm like, yo, who is this dude? Where did they get this dude from, right? I felt like they had done the switcheroo, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like somebody had pulled a magic trick and they pulled a rabbit out of a hat in Vegas, right? But, you know, I'm a realist, right? So I turn around and I'm like, let me do a little research on this guy. Let me find out who this guy is, right? So I start doing research. I'm like Don Lemon. I'm like Chris Cuomo before he got fired from CNN. I'm doing so much research, right? And it just so happens that I found something very interesting. There's a video clip of this guy talking about the check-in and talking about rappers getting murdered in Houston. Check out what Takeoff's alleged murderer had to say.
You feel like the internet made, I say, our culture and like the rap culture as a whole, it made it more deadly. Just, you know,
niggas had died before that though. It just wasn't the rappers.
Yeah.
See, I don't know who was our biggest rapper back then. Biggest rapper probably Lil Flip and T.I. You remember when Lil Flip and T.I. fought and the nigga from my hill punched Flip or some shit? I don't remember, but that was big back then. Like I remember that was like our, you know, out of town beef or whatever. Nobody died. I'm not saying T.I. gangster and Lil Flip a gangster. Nobody died. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe if the internet was around, somebody would have died. I don't know. I can't say, but nobody died. But supposedly it was some street on both ends. When T.I. came out here, he was actually escorted by some nigga that was from out here. And, you know, I ain't saying he checked in with his girl or whatever, but he was escorted. Niggas brought him to them to have that altercation. You know what I'm saying? And that might have been, you know, the reason why ain't nobody died, because there was some protection there on both ends. Hey man, look, yeah, you probably go out there and play with your hands, but you ain't gonna play with these pistols.
Yeah.
And T.I. was a nigga that got caught with some guns and shit. He went to prison for having some guns, from what I heard. So he could have shot up some shit. Or Flip could have shot up some shit. Flip from out this way. Shit. You ain't never heard nobody play with Flip but T.I.
Yeah.
Flip probably a gangster. Flip probably got something to you. Man, when I was a kid, man, Flip had the biggest chains, the most exotic car. Like I walk right around, that's how Flip was riding around back when I was a kid. And I ain't heard nobody play with Flip but T.I. But T.I. came under some type of protection, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then after that, T.I. started running with niggas around the city. Like every time T.I. come to Houston, he went to business from Houston. He wasn't. But if the internet was around, I don't know how they would have played. But it was though. It was just a different way of internet.
Wasn't televised yet, like on the feed, right on your story and shit.
We ain't hear about it till after it happened and the niggas back home safe. Shit, right now, man, them niggas here, bro. The town, bro. Look, they on live, bro. And that that might be why they died of, cause shit, they don't got no time to think about their next move. You know what I'm saying? They don't even got time to think about the first one.
Listen, I am from the streets, okay? I am from the hood. I come from a place where, like, when you're walking down the street, the rats are rolling up blunts and taking a few puffs, okay? The squirrels are smoking Newports. That's where I'm from. And just based on that fact, I can listen to this guy and I can tell you this dude is soft as heck. This is one of those corny dudes who's running around the streets who thinks he's a thug, but he's no thug. And I'm telling you, it's the cornballs that are more dangerous than the real thugs, right? Because they don't know street code and they get scared and they just start shooting willy-nilly. That's this dude right here, okay? But even though he's a cornball, it's important that we pay attention to what DJ Pat, aka Takeoff's alleged killer, just said. He said that the reason why rappers are out here dying in the streets, especially in Houston, is because they're online telling people exactly where they're at, posting their location, right? And they're online flashing all their chains and their fame and their riches. And then the shooters see it and they show up Jimmy Crack on the spot, right? And before you can even think about the first move, they've already moved on to the second move. That's crazy. Now, something else that I thought was very interesting is that when the alleged moiterer is talking, right, he says that when T.I. came into Houston, T.I. didn't get touched because T.I. had protection, right? Now, I'm thinking to myself, didn't Quavo and Takeoff check in with J. Prince Jr. so that they too had protection? Listen, as I'm listening to this clip, what it appears to be to me is that the real shooters in Houston, the real bangers, the real dudes who are out there on the streets every day, and even the cornballs have absolutely no respect for J. Prince Jr. and his protection amounts for absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. His name holds no weight and he cannot protect you if you go to Houston because the streets have spoken. Now, I know there's somebody out there right now who's like, yo, sis, you don't know what you talking about. J. Prince and them, J. Prince Jr. and them, they hold mad weight in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Listen, even J. Prince Jr. understands they don't hold mad weight in Houston. Listen to what J. Prince Jr. had to say.
I woke up today with something on my heart. So I'm going to share it with you all. To all the leaders out there, we have to make sure that we're tight at all times. We have to make sure that our security and our guys that surround us are tight at all times, regardless of circumstances and situations. Never get too comfortable. Just one. The dude hit him the first time and ran off, thinking that something was gonna get thrown back at him. And we dealing with what we dealing with today. My message to y'all is, Let's make sure that we stay sharp. Let's make sure that we stay on point at all times, regardless of where we at, because we cannot afford to lose any more black leaders to this community. Any more leaders, period. We can't afford to lose them. So let's stay sharp. Let's stay tight. Let's stay on point. And let's make sure that we don't have any more casualties to cowardness. Church.
Listen, Martin J. Prince Jr. over there said he had a dream and he woke up and he had to give you this message, okay? And what he's essentially saying is you better come with your own security because he and his boys and his people can't protect you in them streets. Yo, this dude is off the hook. This guy really thinks like he's a real leader. This guy thinks that he's like on Barack Obama's level. This guy thinks he's a serious statesman. My man's like talking to all the leaders. Yo, but you know what they say? When the blind follow the blind, they all fall into a ditch. Now, speaking about somebody who has dug themselves into a deep hole, Wendy Williams' ex-husband Kevin Hunter is back, and he's asking Wendy for some more dough. When Wendy stopped hosting the Wendy Williams show, she stopped making alimony payments to her ex-husband Kevin Hunter as per their divorce agreement. The agreement that they made during their divorce said, quote, if for any reason plaintiff's contract with Talk WW is not renewed and or is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and plaintiff does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendant understands and agrees that all severance payment shall be subject either to termination or modification, end quote. So essentially, Kevin Hunter agreed that if Wendy was no longer able to work for some reason, she would no longer have to pay him any money, okay? And he signed on the dotted line. And we all know that Wendy wasn't doing too good and Wendy stopped working, so Wendy stopped the checks. But now that Kevin Hunter has been cut off, he's crying broke. And he claims that he can't pay his bills and is facing foreclosure on his home, and he's asking the court to intervene. Hunter is looking to force Wendy's guardian to pay him so he doesn't lose his home. In his appeal to the court, Hunter said, quote, I have fallen behind on my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the homeowners association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the homeowners association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow. End quote. Now get this. It's bad enough that this dude is coming back and he's trying to dig in Wendy's pockets, right? But what makes it worse is Kevin Hunter cheated on Wendy and had a baby with the side chick, right? And now he lives in that home with the side chick and her kid. So he expects Wendy Williams to pay for his home so that the chick that he smashed and got pregnant, which led to their divorce, can live there comfortably in the lap of luxury. Yo, this dude is wilding out right now, okay? And if I was Wendy, I wouldn't pay him jack-ish. You know why? Because I'm not paying for no able-bodied man to lay up in a house that I'm paying for with some other chick that he cheated on me with. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. If he can smash, he can work. If he can cheat, he can work. He can get his behind up and he can go find a job, or he can walk down to the unemployment office and get himself a little check. But guess what? You're not getting any of my coins. Let me tell you something, Wendy, don't give this dude no coins, because he's a deadbeat. And I'll tell you something else. If it was me, I would take this fight to the bitter end. Kevin Hunter would have to take me to the Supreme Court to try to get money from me. And even then, if they ruled against me, I can tell you, I'm not giving him anything while I'm still breathing. And after I'm dead, he'd have to go to Home Depot and buy a shovel, bring it to the cemetery, and dig 6 feet down to pry that check out of my cold, dead hands. And to make it worse, when he tried to cash that check, it would bounce. the same way he was bouncing up and down on some other chick while we were married. Now, I know there's somebody out there who's going to come in the comments and they're going to be like, that's not godly. And I say to you, 2 Corinthians 9:6 says, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Not only that, but Proverbs 11:18 says, a wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. And as far as I'm concerned, Kevin Hunter is trying to earn deceptive wages. But that's only my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Listen, the other day, your boy Tariq Nasheed showed up on Beehive TV. I mean, he was dressed in the military garb. He was looking like a modern day Marcus Garvey. And during the interview, he was asked about what he thought about Ye. And this is what Tariq had to say. Check it out.
I can't rock with what Ye is doing. That's indefensible. Like Kyrie, I can defend Kyrie. Kyrie didn't do a damn thing wrong.
Yeah.
But Kanye is doubling down on the BS. He's saying all this reckless stuff, and then you turn around and you hang with these white nationalists. That's the thing I really can't co-sign. And these are some dangerous cats that he's hanging with. So Kanye is all over the place. He's shooting himself in the foot. And a lot of that has to do with success guilt. A lot of people, we have success guilt because we're so used to poverty, and we've been told that we're supposed to be the muse of society and we're supposed to be struggling all the time. When we get a bag and when we make it, we start doing things to sabotage ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what Kanye is doing. That's success guilt, and we got to start getting over that nonsense. We're supposed to be successful, and we're supposed to hold our success.
Yeah.
And then trickle it down to the next generation.
Very interesting hypothesis. I want to pose something to the listeners. 1, do you think that African Americans suffer from success guilt when they get the bag? And 2, do you think that Ye is currently suffering from success guilt? Let me know in the comments. Look, recently Atlanta singer Summer Walker placed a help wanted ad online. In the ad, she said she was looking for a male assistant. She was going to pay $2,000 a month. The person should be age 25 and older from ATL and have a car. They should know how to build stuff, and they should preferably be white or homosexual. After making a post, Summer caught mad flack from fans who thought that the job listing was discriminatory towards black people, especially since laws prohibit employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, including sexual orientation and pregnancy, national origin, age, disability, or genetic information. In response to the ad, mad people took to Instagram and started sharing their thoughts with Summer. One person said, most people 25 and older can't afford to live off $2,000 a month, and the requirements are dead wrong. Another person said, there's so many problematic things here. Where do we begin? Well, in response to the backlash, the Atlanta singer jumped on her Instagram stories to address the criticism, starting with the salary. Summer said, quote, if you don't know what you're talking about, then why are you talking about it? I really would like to know that. Oh, $2,000 ain't enough? $2,000 ain't enough? How do you know if it's enough? I could have told somebody to come over here once a week and smell my backside and leave. How do you know it's not enough? Do you know the job description? Do you know the hours? Summer seemed totally aggravated and continued on to say, quote, I'm on maternity leave. I'm not working. We have no shows. We have no club appearances. We have nowhere to go and nothing to do. I told somebody to come over here once a week to come take my effing trash out. Ish like that. Put some gas in my car. Ish I don't feel like doing. But that is not your business. I don't have to explain that to you. End quote. Well, okay, it seems as if the salary that you're going to pay somebody would be commensurate to the job that they're going to do. And if they're only coming over once a week, $2,000 could be a good little paycheck, right? But Summer Walker continued to address why she said she wanted a white homosexual. Summer Walker said, quote, and then to be talking about why a white man and why a gay man. I've always hired black people. Everybody that works for me is black. If I want to hire a white person, y'all sound like y'all discriminating. What's the problem? I want a gay man because I don't want nobody hitting on me. And I want a white person because honestly, you ninjas, y'all know how ninjas act. I'm honestly really tired. I'm really tired. But that's a different effing story. End quote. Okay, she lost me right there, right? Because black people are not a monolithic group of people. You know what I'm saying? We come in different shapes and sizes and an array of colors, and we come with different sets of morals and different character. You know, we are individuals. And two, you know, is it a bit much to presume that every straight guy or every heterosexual guy would try to kick it to you? I don't know, but at the end of the day, Summer Walker did turn around and say that she did hire a black person for the job. But I don't know if I would want the job. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Would you want to take the job? Would you go work for Summer Walker? Now, on to the next story. Recently, a clip has resurfaced of T.I. talking during his show Expeditiously in 2020. And in the clip, T.I. snitches on himself. T.I. said that when he was younger, him and his cousin were out in a mall parking lot and they were doing some illegal business. I think they were selling some bootleg clothes or something, right? And they got hemmed up by the cops, right? They got some gun charges because there was a gun, you know, and they ended up going to jail and they started going through the criminal justice system. But during the process, his cousin died, right? So the attorney said to T.I., listen, if you put this on your cousin, you can walk, you know, you don't have to do any jail time. So T.I. snitched on his dead cousin in order to beat the rap. T.I. went on to say that after his cousin passed away, he had a long talk with him. And T.I. said his cousin said, quote, I'll take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, GD right. Because I'll be darned if they gonna come and MF and extradite me from up here. End quote. Yo, T.I. is wilding out with that one. Listen, do you think T.I.'s cousin really said that? Do you think that's what he really said? I don't know, but I'm thinking about it and I'm wondering, is it okay to snitch on the dead homies? Is it okay to pin the crime on the dead homies? Is it okay to tarnish the legacy of the dead homies? Or is it a situation where no harm, no foul? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.